Oh, wait a minute. All right. Hey, what's up? This is PoGokeRo going live, and it looks like it might have been a bit off, but hey, that's enough. Hey, good morning. A little behind-the-scenes view there, but that's okay. Yeah, my name is PoGokeRo, and I'm here today in my base in Minecraft. I think today is the day I'm gonna go kill the Ender Dragon. But before I go do that, or as I do that, let's talk about what's been going on in impeachment. Because man, it's been going so fast, it's been crazy. Let me turn this down a little bit. All right. So, what was it? God, man, last week. That was like years ago. Last week. What was going on? We started impeachment hearings, and the Democrats called up 3 witnesses. They're ambassadors and diplomats. And all these ambassadors and diplomats say I was pressured to instigate a back channel. Here, let me turn this down a little bit for my sanity here. All right. All these guys were talking about, well, Trump was making a back channel. So here's the idea. Here's the big thing. On one hand, you have the CIA, the FBI, the NSA, former DNI. You have the allies of the United States, the Netherlands, the UK, Australia, Germany. I'm sure France jumped in somewhere. All these guys are feeding us this information that feeds into this, that's saying that when it comes back to down to Ukraine, that Russia is trying to take over Ukraine. And they wage propaganda warfare to do it. And the story is they had a corrupt prosecutor. And this guy was corrupt. He was working with Russia to mess up Ukraine. Ukraine is trying to become more democratic and move closer to Europe and to the West. And everyone, and not just the United States, but everyone's like, yo, you got to get that prosecutor out if you want to get closer to the West. And so, yeah, for the benefit of Ukraine and the benefit of the relationship between the United States and Ukraine and the West, Ukraine kicked out this corrupt prosecutor so that they could effectively go after the mobs that were trying to take over Ukraine. Okay, we're going to head over to the Stronghold End portal. Okay. So that happened. And Ukraine, is trying to fight off this invasion from Russia. Then Donald Trump takes the presidency, and that's when things go to hell. Donald Trump is in cahoots with Putin. They're not allied with the United States. Donald Trump is not allied with the United States. He is a traitor. Donald Trump, on behalf of Putin, has already withdrawn from Syria, from key points in Syria, and gave our old bases to Russia. Now in the Ukraine, what he's doing is like he knows that the Ukraine is fighting the Russians, the Russian invasion. So Obama was trying to send over arms to Ukraine, or money, so they can buy arms. And right, here's some money, but you can only spend it on our weapons. But hey, that's how it works. All right, whatever. Okay. that was going to happen. That was going on. It was bipartisan. The Democrats and the Republicans wanted Ukraine to have this money to buy weapons to fight off Russia. Donald Trump comes along and like steps in between, and he holds it back and says, no, this isn't going there yet. First, Ukraine, you got to do me a favor. I want you to start an investigation on Joe Biden, because I'm thinking, Donald Trump, I'm thinking that Joe Biden got my guy, the prosecutor, the corrupt prosecutor in Ukraine, got my guy, Putin's guy, kicked out. And that's bad. That's bad for Putin. That's bad for me. So if you want this aid to fight off the Russians, you have to help the Russians by investigating Biden. And you don't even have to investigate Biden. All you have to do is say, I'm investigating Biden on TV. That's all we want. There doesn't have to be anything. Nothing has to be there. I don't care. I just want you to go on TV and say this lie to everyone, so it's public. And that way you're beholden to me, well, Putin, or Donald Trump, and Donald Trump is beholden to Putin. So, so all these, and then at the same time, Donald Trump sent his special guys, the three amigos, the outlaw Billy Barr, Rudy Giuliani, who's the other guy? Oh man, I don't know. Who's the third guy? Rick Perry, I know, is in there, and another guy, and I forgot. Anyways, there's 4 guys, but they call them three amigos. So he sends these guys on a crazy wild chase around Europe, trying to get information that would help them with their conspiracy to blame Biden. Meanwhile, okay, so now all these U.S. dignitaries are testifying, saying, yeah, this is going on. And all the Republicans, none of them defend Donald Trump. Oh, too fast. None of them defend Donald Trump. None of them. They don't even try. They don't even try to defend Donald Trump. Because they can't. Donald Trump used bribery and extortion to get a political favor out of the UK foreign government for his own personal gain. Not for the gain of the United States, but for his own personal gain. Trippy. All right. So it's saying it's not getting any data, but yet I don't get it. It says it is getting data. All right. I'm thinking it's all right. Stream healthy. Okay, yeah. So, all the Republicans can do and say is, number one, don't watch the hearings. It's boring. But they're not. Number two, oh, this process is a sham, but it's not. It's their own rules. The rules are there because that's the way they did it last time. What else do they say? Oh, you don't have first-hand evidence. All of this is from people around Donald Trump, but it's not from Donald Trump himself. So none of this matters. Oh, but wait, that's where the new news comes in. There's a guy. So, oh yeah, that's his name, Sondland. Gordon Sondland. Yeah. So Gordon Sondland, Rudy Giuliani, and oh man, I'm losing all their names. Rudy Giuliani. they're all trying to anyways, man, I'm getting lost here. Okay. I'm just gonna jump in this portal. Let's go. I'm in the end. Oh man. This is the end. There's the Ender Dragon. Oh man, it spawned me pretty far from the place. I should have brought more. Oh wow, look at that. It's like a... That's kind of crazy, man. Trippy. Ooh, my hands are getting all sweaty. Oh, that sounds bad. Oh man, my hands are totally sweaty. Oh man, I'm afraid. Oh man, I'm afraid. Look at that. There he is. Okay, here we go, guy. Here we go. Here we go. Like, this is like jumping right in. Okay. Is this the tallest one? You have to climb up that. So I'm gonna climb up these ones here. Oh, let's not go there. Let's start over here. All right, hey. Ow. Can you shoot these cages down? No, I think you have to like... Oh, hey, pain. Ow. Go on the edge. I'm not getting hurt. Okay. That wasn't the tallest one. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Ah! Oh, I'm gonna die. Oh, I don't have my golden apples with me. I didn't bring anything, man. I kind of jumped in a little early. That was my bad. I didn't bring anything. Oh, I got that one. Got that one. Got that one. Okay, hey. Oh, I got potions. Nice. Am I hitting him? No. He's invincible. Gotta break these, Okay, that's the tallest one. Oh man, there's so many Endermen. La la la. I'm not afraid. Oh, hey, okay. Ow. Come on. Oh, got it. Okay, where's my ladder? Ah! Okay, not dead, not dead. I'm not dead yet. Alright, now I need my last ladder. Oh, hey. Okay, that did it? How did that happen? For real? That was it? Alright. Okay, okay. So here we go. What, you're hitting me? For real? Oh, this is super slow. Come on. I need a little Enderman shelter. Okay. Oh man, this is crazy. Ah! Ah! Ugh. Hurt him yet? No. Oh, move. Ugh. This guy's nothing. It's not hitting him. There you go. Ah! Not so easy when he's all flying around. Stop moving! For real? There we go. Oh, wow. Ugh. I got you now, buddy. Ugh. I got him! Whoa. Oh, yes! Oh, yes! Pretty fireworks. Look at all the gold falling into the... yeah. Yay, experience. Well, hey, I did it. Nice. No problem. Most of my ladders are gone, but that's okay. There's the way to the next dimension. My end portal is ready. Man, that was pretty nice. All right. Pat problem. Now I can make an Enderman farm because that's what I need. Just because it's an easy way of getting experience. Although I don't know where is my spawn portal. Well, here, let's check this out. Whee! So, you've all seen the end, right? I don't need to see it again. Ooh. Back to game. Hey, here I am. All right. Well, there. I killed the Ender Dragon. Now I can go back to the end and do the things I need to do there. Like, build an Enderman farm. And get to the end city so I can find some wings and finally get to flying. That's like the thing I haven't done yet. Like, grr. I tried in Bedrock, but I think the world I tried it on glitched out or something. So, we will see. So yeah, impeachment's going on. The only defense the GOP has right now is by saying, oh, well, no one actually heard him say it. Donald Trump say this himself. Well, now we have someone who says that. They gave a deposition saying that Donald Trump was talking to the Sondland guy on the phone, but Donald Trump was talking really loudly. So Sondland held the phone away from his ear, so everyone around him could hear what Donald Trump was saying on the phone. And Donald Trump was saying things like bribery and extortion and admitting to it. Alright, so I wanted to bring stuff there. Eggs are not necessary. I have wood. Bring more just in case. It doesn't matter. Ooh, I need bricks. Lots and lots of bricks. Alright, some. Good enough. Oh, hey, Mr. Enderman. How you doing on my pad here? Can I push you off? Just because you make me nervous. You make me a little bit nervous. Okay. Oh. So, okay. So that's going on. Now, you have to understand that it's a propaganda attack that's going on, because I was talking to someone who absolutely did not believe that Donald Trump was guilty, and they thought that everything the Democrats was doing was only to get rid of Donald Trump. They don't ever consider any of the evidence. And that's Donald Trump's that's his best bet, to get people to not pay attention to the evidence. So, if Nancy Pelosi were smart, she'd find some way to get this information out there to everyone. You know, I'm probably using the wrong stuff. I need to use slabs because Enderman will spawn on this, and it'll make me uncomfortable again. All right. Yeah. So then I just need to make a Enderman farm here. I have not enough Ender pearls. Man, there's a ton of Endermen. It'll probably work really good on this on this one. Freaky. So this is, I need to make a way of, because I can't tell where I came from. There we go. This is the start direction, I guess. No Enderman allowed. You must be this short to ride. Will this work? Can I just like manually piss off all the Endermen? I'm just gonna manually piss off all the Endermen. This is awesome. Come on, guys. I want all y'all. Even you, buddy. Oh yes, all y'all. Alright, come on. Oh, this is easy. That was nice. Look at that. Hey! well, I'll be. Hey, check that out. And look at it's almost like repopulated with Endermen. I mean, yeah, an Endermite would make this way easier, but look how easy. God, they spawn a lot. Oh my God, it's almost filled up again. That's amazing. Okay. So I also wanted to grab some. Oh. Okay. Enough of that nonsense. Grab some. All right. Okay. Enough of this. I'm gonna go back to my base so I can sit and chill and talk to people. I didn't bring my list with me, so I don't have like my list of stuff to talk about. Mainly because I was going to do this. Which is, you know, this is nice. I found a new setting in Minecraft which has changed the game for me. This setting is called render distance. And I put it up to halfway. And this, like, changed everything for me. I should have known about this earlier. So render distance just makes you be able to see farther away in Minecraft. So I can actually see my whole world now, or like my whole city, instead of just only a little tiny part of it. Like, look at that mountain over there. That's great. And look at, you can't even see the end of the billionaires line. Like, that's nuts. And look at, you can over there, you can see the town I made. Like, how cool is this? This render distance is awesome. Look at, I think that's Mountain Serendipity. Yeah, look at, you can see the torches I put up there. Climbing up the top of Mountain Serendipity. I gotta make a train line out there, because that looks just too cool. But yeah, render distance, man, this changes everything. You can see the train line to the Turtle Sanctuary. Like, really, render distance, my goodness. When you can see more of the world around you, it changes everything. Like, you can see my gold farm now. Like, that's amazing. So, okay. So I want to show you again real quick with the render distance that helps you to conceptualize this idea here. So remember, this is American wealth, the wealth of America divided into quintiles. Quintiles is in 20%, 5 groups of 20%. You take all of America, and instead of showing it, oh wait a minute, let me pull it up in infrared view. Oh, man, where'd my show go? Show images, there we go. Do this again so everyone is aware of what I'm talking about. Open with infrared view. No, not that one. Yeah, no, cancel. This is the one I wanted. So here, let me throw that on here. So that's the distribution of wealth in America, in the United States. You can see that the lowest little bit there for the people is at negative. So you look at 20% of that up to 20. So where is that? I can't even see. But 20%. So that's not even quite to 10,000 yet. So that's right there. You average all that together, and their net worth is minus $6,000. So that's represented. Each block is $10,000. Each one of these brick blocks is $10,000. 10,000. So this is minus $6,000 for the bottom 20%. The next 20%. Oh wait a minute. You can't see what I'm looking at. Okay. So what that means is that you average out the bottom 20%, and each brick is $10,000. So for the average of the bottom 20%, it's minus $6,000. So that's that right there. You're in the hole, $6,000. The next 20% of Americans, their net worth is $7,000. Not quite a full brick. Not quite there. That's 40% of America. Together, they have $1,000. 40% of America. Then you add the next 20%. This is 60% of America right here. And their average net worth is $6,000, about almost $7,000. So you go minus 6,000, 7,000, almost 70,000, almost 10 times. That's 60% of America. Now you're getting up to the next 20%, the fourth 20%. Their net worth is $200,000. That's 20 bricks. The glowstone is the cap. That's where they're at. So 20, 40, 60, 80% of America right here. The last top 20% is like over $500,000. $630,000. That's 63 bricks. So this is right here. This is a 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, or 20, 40, 60, 80, 100% of America. but they averaged out, right? So averages changes things. One guy over here is like the low is like minus $8,000, and then at the top of the 20 percentile is like nothing. So that averages out to minus $6,000 when you average it out. So this is only an average. When you look at the top, a millionaire, that's 100 of these things. This is the top 1% that everyone's talking about when they say we need to tax the billionaires and millionaires. Right? This is what a millionaire looks like in relation to everyone else. And with render distance, now you can see very clearly what it looks like. Because before we couldn't see far enough, but now we can see far enough. Oh, that's what the average. This is $1 million I'm standing on top of. 100 bricks, $1 million of net wealth. This is $1 million. Everyone else is down there. That's the next. You can't even see the other ones. There we go. Barely. Now, when you want to talk about a billionaire, that's this way. So this is 1 million. Now we're standing on top of bricks of 1 million. And each of these is $1 million of net wealth. So the average American is like way, way back there. You can't even see them. This is each brick is $1 million going this way. So imagine everything straight down is filled in. I'm going to show you what $1 billion looks like with increased render distance, so you can get a better sense of how far things are. Oh, there's Iron Town. There's my gold farm. Look how far away it is. $1 billion. This is a person with $1 billion net wealth. Like, look at this stuff. Like, I have never been out here before. $1 billion in net wealth. So this is to the end. Over here at the end, this will be 1 billion. I'm riding on top of stacks of a million. So this is 1,000 million. This is what it means to be a billionaire. I don't even know where humans are. Humans are so far back there that I don't ever see them on this thing. This is only $1 billion. Kind of absurd. I think that line there is to the desert town. Pretty sure. This is 1 billion. The average human is so far away from this. There's no relation at all. Look at this. Okay, so now you got to think of someone like Bill Gates. More coffee. Bill Gates has 107 of these billions. So imagine now that's 1 billion. Now now going back this way, this would be another billion all the way back. Another billion all the way back. No, that's just a support line that I made. That's not the end. That's where I died at. Okay. Now, each of these is a billion. All the way back that way. 1 billion. Billion, 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 billion. This is a solid block. Billion, 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 billion. This is Bill Gates. Bill Gates has 100 of these billions, solid blocks all the way back, all the way to the ground. Solid gold. That's Bill Gates. That is what we talk about when we say concentrated wealth. Look how stupid that is. One person does not need $100 billion. No, that's crazy. Savannah, jungle. This is just cool. I like this increased render distance. But yeah, $1 billion, and he has 100 of these things. So when we say tax the billionaires, these are the people we're talking about. Because if you tax these people, you can fund things like healthcare, universal healthcare, and free college. And we could get rid of things like student debt, because student debt is dumb. I think the United States is the only industrialized country that charges its kids obscene amounts of money to go to college. Like no other place, no other industrialized country does this. It's only us. No. Oh well. $1 billion. We're the only one. Meanwhile, we have people like this. You have to remember, imagine all of this would be solid billions if this was Bill Gates. A solid block of $1 billion, all $100 billion. Like, it just breaks my head that one person could need this much money. Like, we're gonna lose the end of that before we get home to the end of this $1 billion. There it is. It's way back there. Still there. It's still there. It's fading. It's fading. No, don't fade away. It's still there. It's outlined in the sun. That's neat. Oh wow, we can see it far. Oh no, now it's disappearing. So we can't even see the whole. We can't even see end to end. That's how much $1 billion is. You can't. And so this is a solid block. Remember, this whole thing is solid. From that corner way over there, all the way over to here. One person. When we say tax the billionaires, that's who we're talking about. That's what we mean. So you look at our infrastructure, and it's all crashing around us, man. Things are breaking everywhere. Like, nothing's working anymore. And all these countries, I mean, like, Flint has poisoned water. I think New Jersey has poisoned water. Like, infrastructure is crashing. And the people who suffer are the weakest amongst us, the poorest amongst us. It's never the rich people who suffer when infrastructure goes down. It's not this guy. It's not this billionaire guy who has to worry when his water becomes poisonous. It's us. We're the ones who have to suffer with it. Because we don't have the billions of dollars here. We all live down there with the rest of humanity. Right? We're way down there compared to the guy who's got of that. So think about that. The guy has more dollars than there are humans on Earth. By 10. More dollars than people on Earth. That's crazy. Hey, that's an idea. If you want an arbitrary. Okay. I was talking to some other guy about the gold standard. He's like, oh yeah, our money is worth nothing because it's not backed by anything other than our word. He was suggesting, oh yeah, we should go back to the gold standard because then it's backed by something real, something with value that's traditionally had value for generations. Well, it's just an arbitrarily rare thing. It doesn't have actual value. There's no inherent value in gold other than what you can make with it. Like if you need it for like electronic components to make something, a machine that does something useful, like work. But there's no real intrinsic value in gold. So people who say we should go back to the gold standard are kind of missing the point. It's just arbitrary, just like a nation's word is arbitrary. Just because a government says, oh yeah, we back our currency, like that's not backed by anything either. Just like gold is not really worth anything. It's only worth something because people say it is. Not because gold is actually worth something. It's just because people say it is. Just like a government. Money is worth something because people say it is. So I started thinking, if you really want to attach value to like something physical, something tangible, to the value of money, why not human beings? Right? Every human, you create like X number of dollars or something for your economy. That way your economy is based on humans instead of based on arbitrary statistics like capital pushing paper. Like the stock market. The stock market is like the dumbest thing ever. It's like a casino for rich people. But yeah, it supposedly quote creates value. They want us, the capitalists want to say, oh yeah, the market creates value. No, it doesn't. It doesn't create anything except paper. The people who create value are the workers who are working and actually making stuff, and not even physical stuff, but also knowledge, because knowledge and truth, the production of knowledge and truth is labor. You don't just get good information for free. It takes work to get that information, labor of some kind. If it didn't take labor, then it would be easy to get, and everyone would have the truth, right? It would be everywhere. I mean, but no, nowadays there are forces that work to hide the truth, and so it takes effort to uncover what is true and what is not true. So labor and value isn't necessarily something tangible. Like information is not tangible, but it's a real thing, and it has value. Good information has value. Man, I need to pay for a subscription to like a newspaper now. So this is where value comes from. It doesn't come from shuffling paper. It doesn't come from selling stock. It comes from creating something out of raw materials. You get raw materials and you input your labor, and out you get a product which is refined labor and materials. And that product has value in it. You invested yourself into it by putting your labor into it. That's where it comes from. So when the billionaires have these billions of dollars based on like arbitrary things, they get power out of this money. How? I mean, like, why do we let them do it? Why do we let them get away with it? And again, it comes down to information. Now, again, at the beginning of the show, I was talking about how there are two different narratives. One narrative says the United States is under attack from Russia, and that Donald Trump is a Russian asset working to undermine everything the United States stands for. What does the United States stands for? Well, look at our stuff. All right. We're about freedom and liberty and justice. Justice and liberty are the patron saints of the United States. If the United States does not pay homage to liberty and justice, the United States will fail. That's the way it is. And so, has the United States always been in service to liberty and justice? No, not perfectly. It was pretty bad. It's been pretty bad for a long time. But but this is based. Remember, this is based on a system of ideals, and if you place your heart into these ideals to exemplify these ideals, then this is what that's what Americans stand for. That it doesn't matter what you look like, or what God you follow, or who you love, or the manner in which you make your love. If you're not hurting anyone else, then you're okay. And it doesn't matter who you are or any of that, because if you can exemplify the ideals of America, you're cool by us. That is the fundamental idea of the United States. That is the fundamental idea. So it's been imperfectly implemented. We're always trying to get better at implementing it, and it's a struggle. But that's the idea. That whole thing is juxtaposed, is opposite of this other idea, represented by Donald Trump, represented by Vladimir Putin, represented by Erdogan or whatever, Erdogan, whatever his name is. These dictators who place no value in democracy, place no value in human beings. All they care about is money. That's all they care about. Money and power. Money and power. Because in this framework, it's like neo-feudalism, right? Human rights, you get rid of human rights. Who cares about humans? Well, all we care about are natural rights. Well, what are natural rights? Natural rights are whatever you can get away with, i.e. power. Pure power. It's a return to the jungle. That's what it is. It's a return to the jungle. And the whole reason why we left the jungle was because that is bad. We recognize when we come together, we can create amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. But we have to come together. And the powers that be don't want us to come together. They do everything they can to keep us separated. So, one way of keeping us separated is to hide this. They don't want you to see this. This is too much. They want you to not pretend it's not even there. Remember, this is where it starts in the whole. So this right here is yeah. Here, another way of looking at it, let me see if I can find it over here. Okay. Here's another way of looking at it. The top 1% has all this much money. You throw in the next 9%, they have like 60, 70%. So the bottom 90% have like this much. This is, and the bottom 50% have this much. Like, it's ridiculous. It's dumb. Now let's look at the tax structure. In the 1950s, when we started making all of our infrastructure, this is how we had the taxes, which is, it's how you would think it should go, right? The more you make, the more you pay. It's pretty flat. I'll tell you that. It's not nearly steep enough at the bottom, but I guess it kind of is if this is where all the wealth is. But yeah, like with this tax structure, we were able to make amazing things in the United States. We have the interstate highway system. It's pretty amazing. But now with Donald Trump, he represents the opposite of America. Remember, so this is his tax structure. This is Donald Trump's tax structure. When he passed, when the Republicans had control of the House, the Senate, and the presidency, this is the tax cut they passed. They created a system where if you're poor, you pay more than if you're a billionaire. Billionaires pay like nothing. They pay less than everyone else. So billionaires, remember, they're all about power. So we have to look at, people want to look at the government and say, oh yeah, it's a big monolith. It's just a big thing. It's just one big solid structure. But it's not a big solid structure. It's more like a mech. like a mecha. Remember that old cartoon, that Japanese animation cartoon, Voltron? They're 5 lions. They're all separate lions. They're each distinct, but they come together and they make a super robot. And that super robot, I guess they did it again with Power Rangers. But when they come together, they become more powerful. That's the United States. We're a bunch of separate groups that are pretty awesome, right? We all respect each other, but we come together to make something greater. This right here represents the opposite of that. The Donald Trump represents the opposite of that. Donald Trump wants all the wealth to be concentrated just into this a super elite group, his group, and everyone else can go to hell. Right? So they don't want 5 powerful beings that come together to make an even more powerful being. They want to be one despot with a bunch of subjects, weak subjects. That's what they want. This is the fundamental nature of what's going on, the conflict in our country, the United States. It's fragmented and it looks different depending on where you're standing. And it wears on you differently depending on where you're standing. White privilege is a thing. It's a real thing. You have to understand that. The lighter your skin, the easier your time. That's the way it is. You can get away with a lot more stuff with light skin. Yeah, it helps to be like white, but it also helps to have money, for sure. Money is like the big thing. But even with money, white supremacy is a thing. Like, I think Jesse Owens, he was a Olympian who defeated the Nazis in the Olympics, and he was treated with great respect in Europe. But when he came back to America, he had to come in the back door. He got treated like crap, like nothing, because he was black. Even though he was a gold medal Olympian who defeated the Nazis, the white supremacy Americans treated him like crap. So yeah, it's interesting the way that classism and racism intermingle. That's yeah. So as you know, since last July 2018, I protested at the Salem Saturday Market every Saturday, calling for Donald Trump to be impeached. And I received a lot of hate from people. A lot of hate from people. And the cops were called on me over the course of a year. Maybe 6-8 times, I don't know how many times. And it was various agencies. Sometimes it was the state troopers, sometimes it was the local police. And no one really understood the jurisdiction. It was kind of crazy. But yeah, Nazis, I call them Nazis. Maybe their better term is Nazi sympathizers. Nazi sympathizers tried to get me in trouble with the authorities many times. They would film me constantly. They would film me and they would set me up to fail in hopes to get me in trouble. This really happened. So eventually the police said around the 8th time, they said, if we come out here again, we're going to arrest you. So don't make us come out here again, which means I can't go out there anymore. Because it's not really me, right? It's not me who's calling the police. It's the white supremacists who call the police. And I can't control what the white supremacists do. So I couldn't protest anymore. But hey, check it out. Look how long I was able to create a ruckus. Look how long I was able to create a ruckus. If I had dark skin, do you think I could have done what I did? I mean, I could for sure. I have that right. But I think the social structure would have come down much more harshly. So the way I liken that is, imagine we're all in the Matrix, because we kind of are, right? The Matrix. When you look at the Matrix, the movie The Matrix isn't a physical thing, right? What is the matrix? The matrix is a bunch of code. Well, when you look at it, it's a bunch of code. When you look at it, when Morpheus talks about it, he says it's control. So it looks like code. It feels like control. The matrix looks like code, feels like control. So let's go back. What is information? Information is data. But not just any data, because like I can take a picture of anything. I can take a picture of static, of a picture of static, and that is information. That noise is information, right? Because it's not useful information. I don't get anything out of it. It's not relevant to me, but it's information. So refined information, useful information. That is something that you have to like pare down and get to make. So the matrix is coded information, and it feels like control. So what that tells me is that the matrix is social. It's social mores and focal ways, because humans have to communicate with one another. We're social creatures. We have to communicate with one another. And the only way we cross that divide between my mind and your mind is through the mediation of either speech or gestures or some kind of mediation. Something there has to be a medium to transfer my information from my brain to your information in your brain. You have to get it. I can't just give it to you straight information to straight information. It has to go through the world. It has to go, you have to transform it from pure information. You have to encode it into the world and then pass it along. And this person has to get it. They have to look at this thing and then decode it back into information for their brain. So the matrix sits in between humans. It's a layer of protocol. It's like how we talk, how we communicate with one another. Like, you know about how the modem works, right? You stick the phone in, maybe not the old school, maybe not the youngins, the millennials, but the old school Gen X, you guys will remember modems. That is the two modems working out their protocol, how they'll talk to each other. And once they get their protocol correct, if they get it correct, then they can start transferring information. But what is a modem? Modulate, demodulate. So what a modem does is it takes digital information, which is the computer's ones and zeros, ons and offs, and it modulates it or turns it into sounds. So that's sound into electrical current. That electrical current can be transferred over a wire at the speed of light over to this other computer, which grabs it and it listens, and then it listens to the electrical current, and then demodulates it. It demodulates, modulate, demodulate. Demodulates it back in from electrical current back into ones and zeros, so the computer can understand it. So humans do the same thing. All around us, humans have their little protocol where they agree upon certain rules so that they can communicate to one another. So the matrix is part of these rules, because that's our society. Right? The dominant forces in society have created rules in society, and some of these rules are unwritten. Almost all of these rules are unwritten. I mean, it's hard to find. Sometimes they're codified into law, but a lot of times they're just not there. Like, have you ever been on your cell phone right next to someone who's trying to read and you're talking really loud? And you're on your cell phone for everyone, and you're just talking loud. There's no written rule that's rude. So yeah, it's unwritten rule. And if you break these rules, then people change. They change from their neutral behavior, and they direct their attention to you. So you can look at the movie Inception. Like, do crazy stuff, and all the dream people start paying attention to you. Except that they're not dream people. Like in the Matrix, if you do something crazy and you break the social rule, people transform into agents of social control, and then they act to reestablish societal norms in places where the Matrix So if you are a gay couple and you try to hold hands in rural Alabama or some place like that, or Mississippi, and you try to be public and overt with your homosexuality, people around you, like, who almost just go through life, they see that and their bodies get taken over by this by the Matrix of, oh, this violates the social established norms, I'm gonna and take action against you to reestablish the control. So in this way, now you can understand the Matrix as not being some hokey movie where they like literally plug in lines to the back of your head, but rather like a metaphor for society. So we have these two groups, at least two groups. There might be more. There are more for sure. But I'm focusing right now in the United States, and because there's a struggle going on for control of the federal government. There's a force that's trying to overthrow the government. That's Donald Trump's forces, the GOP, the Republicans. They're trying to break the law and break the Constitution in order to hold power. Why? Because they are opposed to democracy. Why? Because democracy diffuses power in the people. So you want all the people to vote and have a say in your government. Whereas what they want is the Confederacy, fascism, Nazism, the concentration of power and money into the hands of a few people, and forget everyone else. They're all trash. They're all That's what's going on. And then the other code we have is this understanding. And this understanding has been reflected many, many, many times in history through many, many different people. It's not just my idea. It's not just Americans' ideas. These ideas have been around forever. Right? The idea of liberty and justice. The idea that humans can self-govern. And then with that self-governance, freely choose to come together. They choose to come together and recognize the humanness in everyone else. And then by recognizing the everyone's humanity, we bind together, we come together and create something even greater than us. We believe this. That's why we do what we do. So these two forces are opposite. You cannot have both ideas at the same time. You cannot believe that, oh yeah, I believe in democracy and I follow Donald Trump and think power should be concentrated. They're opposite. You can't do it. So if you have these two ideas in your head and you think that you're right, you gotta do something, because you're gonna feel tension. You're not gonna be able to bond with your fellow human being. It's not a new idea. And fascism is not a new idea either. Like this struggle has been going on forever. It probably will go on for a real long time. Like until we complete the American project. And how do you complete the American project? So America has been a majority white nation since its inception. Well, I wouldn't say since its inception, but America has been majority white control for a really long time. Now we're coming upon the time when we're gonna be a majority minority nation, where there will be no one with a majority. Like, whites will be 49% of the population, and all of the other minorities will be 51%. So at that point, you cannot use white supremacy to form a government, because there's just not enough racist white people to form a government. That's why they're doing what they're doing right now, because the Republicans know that since they're the party of white supremacy, and since they can't hold power in a democracy, they're going to get rid of democracy. I'm not saying Democrats are perfect. Nope, not at all. But for sure, the Republicans are bad, are Nazis. Yeah. Yeah, I do. I need someone else here to talk to, because I'm kind of like saying the same things, but to me it doesn't, I don't know. I see things, but I don't know what I don't know what I don't see, I guess. Like, I was talking to my neighbor, and he was telling me about Colin Kaepernick. I'm all about Colin Kaepernick. I think he's awesome. I think he's great. I mean, to do what he did, and that's sacrifice. Like, how do you know what are your principles? Right? Principles aren't free. You know what your principles are when you have to sacrifice. And Colin Kaepernick sacrificed, thereby proving his principles, that he values his principles. So he's the real deal. He sacrificed. He could have took the easy way. He could have shut his mouth, not knelt, listened to everyone else, and just shut up and collected a paycheck and made a bunch of money. He could have did that. He would have made a lot of money. But he chose not to. He's like, no, this is more important. And he's right. It is more important. Well, I mean, it's easy for me to say. I'm not giving up millions of dollars. Yeah, man, wow. So many things going on. Like, I know it's hard to pay attention to the impeachment hearings, but you really have to. This is historic. This is like, when Nixon was impeached. But this is way worse, because Donald Trump and his cabal, they're traitors. They're traitors. They betrayed our country. They betrayed our country and our nation. They betrayed its ideals, its people, its spirit, everything. Utter betrayal. Utter betrayal. So you have to, I really implore you to watch the hearings. Super importante. Oh, I'm full of stuff. Alright, I didn't build anything. But I found this new setting, so I can see farther. And if I can see farther, I can see the big picture. And if I can see the big picture, it helps me to make things, because I can better appreciate my vision. For example, this is great. This is Unity Station. This trace station is dedicated to Unity. I should make a plaque about it, but I never finished it. But now that I can see better, I can see, like, oh, look, I can dig out this hill and create a plaza here and make a Liberty Plaza. And that'll be great. I just gotta dig this out all around. And then make an entrance over here so that Unity can be appreciated by everyone and it's not half buried. Yeah. Alright, well, I've been yapping. Thanks for coming along, and I will hopefully see you next week. Let's hope Donald Trump gets kicked out. He's gone to the hospital a bunch of times. He might be like crumbling under the stress. Well, the only way he keeps himself going now is through amphetamines. He takes a lot of uppers, which is bad for a president. So, but like, I think he's gonna collapse before we can impeach him. That might, like, whatever, dude. As long as he's out and goes to prison, because after he collapses, he's not president. Then he can be indicted and sent to prison. So that's what we want. We want all the co-conspirators out and in prison. So, all right, America. Again, I implore you to watch the impeachment hearings and talk to your fellow Americans and make sure that because there's two narratives. Make sure your fellow Americans are on the good narrative and not with the bad narrative. All right, America. Thanks for listening, and I will see you next time. PoGokeRo out. Peace. Stop.